Hello, amazing human, and welcome to Neurodivergent Bytes, a podcast for neurodivergent entrepreneurs to understand systems, change the narrative about productivity, and embrace yourself for who you really freaking are. If your energy is being sucked, you're struggling to focus, or you know you need systems, but there's a disconnect for whatever reason, join your host, that's me, Carolee Galt, along with fellow amazing humans on how being a neurodivergent entrepreneur has impacted the way they do life and business. If you're looking for bite-sized action steps, you're in the right place. Welcome back to Neurodivergent Bytes. I am your host, Carolee. I want to talk about how implementing systems in your business is like putting yourself first. Now, this is a really interesting thought process here. Systems allow your business to run, and it allows you to have your brain not have as much stress and things on it, okay? Like it reduces this mental strain that happens when you're constantly doing things over and over and over again when you could automate it or at the very least, systematize it. So when we implement these systems, we're putting ourselves first. And so I hear from a lot of people that they can't systematize things because, they're not consistent, or they can't systematize things, they don't have time. That might all be true. You may not be consistent and you may not have a lot of time. But you know what? If you have goals and desires of being more consistent and having more time, you're going to want to figure out how in the world to systematize some stuff right now. Because systematizing things in your business is like self-care for you as a human. So if you're struggling with the self-care part of you, putting yourself first, I can understand why you're struggling to implement systems in your business. Yeah, I just went there. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, I talked about how to put yourself first in so many different ways and completely flip things on its head. You are worth it to be as whatever consistent means to you. You are worth it to have things systematized. You are worth every bit of time you are going to save by systematizing things. So I'm going to be straight with you today. When you start putting yourself first and you start systematizing your business, that's when things start to freaking explode. You start glowing, you start feeling good, you start getting these butterflies per se. That's kind of like how, like when you get butterflies when you have your first kiss, or butterflies when you look at your partner, whatever, right? That's like the same freaking thing. When you start systematizing things in your business and you start automating things, or you bring on a virtual assistant or whatever, right? Because it saves you so much freaking time and it saves you your sanity, right? Because it reduces the mental strain on your brain and it gives you your freaking time back. So I'm going to give you a bite-sized step here. If you are working on systematizing, or if you are wanting to systematize, but you're not quite, you don't know where to start or whatever, well, I have resources for you. Go ahead and check the show notes when it comes to systematizing. But I also want to invite you to the Hyperfocus Treehouse for the month of August. Because in the month of August, we are doing a Systems Accelerator, and it is customized and not customized, okay? Basically, what we do is that we take a poll, okay? I poll everyone in the treehouse, and I'm like, hey, what system do you want to implement? All right. And if they're like, I don't freaking know, then we have a chat. We don't let you hang. We don't let you stay hanging or anything. We have a chat. What would be the best system to implement for you that will really help you propel yourself forward? And depending on those answers will depend on what trainings I do for the month. This is my favorite month because it's I get to really support you in a one-on-one capacity, but it's in a group setting. And so it's freaking so much fun for me. But then we have the whole month of August where we're going to do those some trainings. We'll have some deep dives, you know what I mean? We'll do some Q&As and things like that, where we really make sure that you get the support you need for implementing that system. And then you freaking get going. You actually implement a system. The last time I did this, I think it was February of this year, so quite a few months ago, but we did this, and every single freaking person in the treehouse submitted that they had completed a system in their business. Every single person. And I was so freaking excited because Like, they had implemented systems that they had been putting off for months. And then they were able to use the freaking system. Right? It helped them save some time. It gave them the motivation, though. Like, the Systems Accelerator gave them the motivation to actually put the system in place. Right? Because they're like, I'm doing some trainings. I'm popping in and giving some encouragement. Like, we're having fun. I'm checking in on you. I'm saying, how can I support you? Right? This is at any level in the treehouse. This is available to every single person, depending on what level you enroll in, depends on how much support you actually get. But you get a lot of freaking support for a small investment. Okay? So if you're really looking like at how can I get this thing moving, this system, I encourage you to join us for the month of August for the Systems Accelerator. The Systems Accelerator is going to be available as a one-off purchase. So the Systems Accelerator will be available if you are a full-time member in the Treehouse, so you're going to get some extra perks. And so if you want some extra perks, sign up for your Treehouse. It's a 6-month commitment, but those 6 months are going to be game changer for you, guaranteed. The first step for you on figuring out how to systematize things is figuring out what you do on a routine basis. Like, what do you do over and over and over again? So that's number one. Write that down. What do you do over and over again? Make a list. Now, what is stressing you the F out? Like, what is seriously stressing you out? Right? It might not be something you do over and over and over again, but it might be something that you're like, oh my gosh, like, could we just like stop doing this? So after you've identified what you do over and over again and what in the world is driving you freaking insane, we've got an amazing starting point. There is something in there that is going to, you're going to be able to implement a system in there somewhere that is going to be able to be a game changer for you in alleviating some of that stress, or systematizing, automating even some of those routine things that you do like on a regular basis, right? And by doing this, you're going to feel really freaking good about it when you're able to use it afterward, right? When you're able to go, oh my gosh, I've been using all that time to do that, and I could have just implemented a system. Man, I'm so glad I finally did it. I'm so glad I took that step. That's what everyone thinks. They're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this. I'm going to be there along with the rest of the Treehouse to support you in August to get that next or that first system in place, right? And if you're like, I'm not really like, I don't want to do that part. Like, we do have some other systems trainings that you can choose from too. But the accountability is like huge to actually do the thing. And it's way more fun. Like, you get to win things like time with me or courses or other things too. So that's fun. Before I wrap up today's episode, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to empower neurodivergent entrepreneurs. I hope that you've gained valuable insights and a fresh perspective on productivity and self-acceptance. No matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, I'm here to support you. These transformative conversations will equip you with bite-sized action steps that you can apply immediately. Let's redefine productivity on our own terms and create a business that aligns with who we truly are. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast to receive the latest episodes and join our amazing community of neurodivergent humans. Remember, being unique is our superpower, and together we can rewrite the rules of success.